I'm talking today with Eric Pryor from New Life Church. Hi, Eric. How are you today?
Hi, wonderful. Thanks for having me on your show.
Yeah, so glad that you were able to come in. I know we have a mutual friend that has been messaging me and saying, you need to get my pastor on on the show. So you are a pastor.
So I am.
At New Life Church.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into being a pastor.
So that story goes back a long time. When I was a kid, I just felt like there was something that I was supposed to do. There's a lifelong calling that I had, and my journey has traveled around Ohio quite a bit.
Okay.
I started out in Columbus. And then went to Toledo, and now found myself in the greater Akron area.
Yes.
So we made this unique triangle that has really just brought us to one of the greatest places in Ohio, I believe.
Yeah, well, of course, we here at Good Morning Akron love the greater Akron area, but you're over in Stowe.
We are.
But you also are doing some unique things right now with your church, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. So right now, you want church to be more than just a place that you go and attend.
Yeah.
And so let's talk a little bit about that.
So I think oftentimes when we think of church as a general idea, it's this thing we do on Sunday that either I feel bad that I skip and go, barbecue or do something else. It's a place that I go because I need to feel something on a Sunday, or maybe it's just a social event that I need to be a part of. But what if we really got into Scripture, if we got into the Bible, what it says is that we should be transformed, we should be changed, and what we think is that church is not just a place of that's where I go, but it's a part of who I am.
Right.
And with my faith, with my relationship with God, then I can have this transformation inside of me that's far beyond just one location. It's far beyond a place that I go or I attend. It's bigger than that. And
you believe that transformation comes from relationships.
Yes.
Right? Relationship with Jesus, but then also within your community, right?
Yeah.
And so share with me how you're kind of spreading out a little bit right now, becoming different locations so that people can have more of a tight-knit community, correct?
Yeah. So I think that one of the beauties of church is that there is all shapes and sizes. It casts such a wide net. So for us, I think it looks a little different. And there's not one right way or wrong way, as long as we believe in the Bible. We believe that Jesus is who he says he is, the Son of God that came for our sins. Then the way we operate in that can be a little different.
Right. Sure.
And for us, the way that operates is we want to really build on two relationships. We want to build on our relationship with God. We want to build on relationships with others.
Right.
And with that reality of the relationships that we have in what we would call the body, that group of people that we are a part of the church together, that group then becomes deeper than just a surface level relationship. It's not just a average friendship, but this is family. What we say a lot of times is God makes us family.
Right, right.
And if God makes us family, then we should redefine really what family is, because truth be told, a lot of people, their family is pretty broken.
Right, and isn't always healthy, isn't always something that is a good example, right? Yeah. And so what do you think family is?
So for us, family goes beyond just those moments on a Sunday. Family is doing life together. There's actually a Greek word called koinonia, which means life together. And we do that. And that doesn't mean, we have to live in a compound or something like that. But that we are authentic with each other. We go deeper than just the average, oh, hey, how are you?
Right.
But let's
how are you actually doing?
Life together. Yeah. So we do that, and we do that on a different model. Because for us, oftentimes we find that we can have a deeper relationship in a smaller group.
Right, sure.
And so what if we took church and spread it out instead of brought it in? And it's a unique model that we're doing, but we want to do multiple campuses all around our area. And the way our original church, New Life, was founded, we trace our roots back to 1942 inside of Geauga Lake Park.
Oh my gosh.
And what happened was, during the gas rations, the church was a struggling place because people couldn't get to them. So instead of going, having people come to us, I wasn't there in 1942.
You weren't there in 1942.
But instead of bringing,
the church went to them.
The church went to them.
Yeah.
And so what if we took the church to people and we put churches in neighborhoods that we could spread out? So our dream is to plant multiple campuses of New Life around our area, that we could have authentic relationship with God and with people wherever we are.
Yeah, that's really beautiful. I know we believe in that as well. I was sharing with you that my husband is a pastor, and our church is a set up, tear down in an old it was in an old Irish bar that's now a youth center that we set up and tear down on Sundays. And so and we're we're in downtown Kenmore, right on the boulevard, like right in a neighborhood. So I love it's the same kind of model. We're not spreading out at this point. We're pretty small ourselves, but we did it for the same reason. We want to be like in the neighborhood and reaching the people of the neighborhood. So love that. Love your story. Tell me just a little bit more. Tell me a little bit more about you and why this matters to you specifically.
Yeah, so for me, my relationship with God has been something that has been a bedrock in my life. And, through the trials and struggles that we've had, through the good times that we've had, there's always been this thing inside of me that says, I am not enough on my own. And I have this gap between me and something. Well, that something, I believe, is God and our relationship. And so what happens is this relationship is made whole through the sacrifice of Jesus. And this relationship that we can have is more than just I go somewhere and do something. It's an internal transformation that has changed my life, that I once was this way and now I am different. And it's a beautiful thing to have that. And so in high school, I felt like God was calling me, that He was directing me to go into ministry. And so I went to seminary and walked through the process, and that brought me back. I grew up in Northeast Ohio, so I am a rural Northeast Ohio kid. And for me, when I walk through nature, when I see those rural roots. Akron's a little different of a town, but when I was in the country, you could see this creation that God has, and I went, this is beautiful. Like, this is
and it's still even in Akron. I mean, we have these beautiful parks, Cog Valley, and
the national park is amazing.
Yes. I love that. I love that your story ties in. And what has made you so interested in specifically building into different communities and wanting the church to spread out?
I think one of the beauties is building roots. That for me, especially growing up in a small town, there's a lot of folks that they plant roots, and those roots go deep, and they stay, and they're there. And I think that's not necessarily the town that I grew up in. I think that's all towns across America, that there are towns where there's roots deep. So what if the church is a part of those roots?
Yeah, absolutely.
And we take the church and we dig those roots deep and say, let's do life together with those roots.
Let us join you. That's really beautiful. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming on the show. Will you share with everyone your website, your social media, so that people can find you guys? I know you have some things coming up this summer. There's going to be a kids camp you were mentioning that people could check out. Yeah, so you can find us online, newlifechurchonline.com. That's probably the easiest, is our website. We're on social media, on Facebook and on Instagram, and then our YouTube channel is at Stowe New Life or at Aurora New Life, depending on which campus. We have 2 campuses right now, and we operate both of those with kind of independent services on a Sunday. We actually don't simulcast. We use live preaching at
all locations.
Great.
So those are the locations. But newlifechurchonline.com is probably the
All right.
easiest way.
As we wrap up, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Oh.
Someone's watching.
Yeah.
Maybe they're going through a hard time.
Yeah.
Let's end with just some words of wisdom, words of inspiration, whatever you want to give someone.
So I would say this, that there's hope. That what we look at in our next steps, in this moment, in these places we are, that don't give up. There's a God that loves you, that has created you for a purpose, that there is a plan for your life. It says that He's numbered the hairs on our head, which is a little different for some of us. It's easier to count mine. But, that there is a God that He cares so deeply that He knows you. And if He knows you, then He loves you. And if He loves you, then He's made a way for you. And if He's made a way for you, then
there's hope for your future. Yeah. Absolutely. I love that. Thank you for sharing that.
So thank you.
Because I know right now there is a lot of really tough stuff happening in people's lives. And, I was just reading a really, really sad story where this person just didn't feel like they had any hope just yesterday. And so, we want to remind people, like, hey, there is hope. Yeah. And there is a future for you, for sure. So thank you so much, Eric. Appreciate having you on the show. Thank you guys so much for watching here on Good Morning Akron. We had a great time here talking with Eric from New Life. Make sure you check out all of the stuff that they have going on. And stay tuned. We've got more great stuff coming up next.